Hi. So today I wanted to talk about my one of the books that I read pretty recently, um, and that book is Pride or Die by I think it's CL Montblanc. If I get that wrong, I'm so sorry. But I was granted a review copy through NetGalley, and I just kind of wanted to talk about my feelings on that book. Pride or Die is about this group of queer kids who are part of a gay straight alliance queer group at their school. And during a pep rally, they are not at the pep rally. They're off in a classroom, like setting up for the club meeting. And during that club meeting, another student gets attacked, and they are accused of attacking the girl. The story follows them trying to figure out who actually did it, and trying to basically uh, get themselves off the hook for the accusation. Um, so this is so funny that I'm like doing so many like murder mystery like books because that's not even like usually my like genre. It just happens to be that like these are the books that I've kind of read recently. I guess it's kind of been in the mood I've been in lately. But anyways, this book, the most I can say about it is like it was okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't really good either. Um, like I had some like gripes with it, but I just want to kind of talk about like the things that were just like all right about it. First of all, like the characters were just all right. Like I didn't really care too much about them. Like I didn't really have like a connection to any of them. And I'm like a big character driven person. Characters are like what makes me like a book. If I don't really like the characters, then I don't really care about the story. Like a book can have like amazing characters and just like an all right plot, but I'll love it because the characters are what keeps me going. But if a book has just like a like meh characters and like an amazing plot, probably not going to be invested in it. And so like the characters for me just like weren't really doing it. I just was like, mm, um, like they just were kind of bland. I just didn't really care much for them. Um, and speaking of the plot, I guess like the thing for me was that the story was just kind of like like I don't know. There's like a difference to me between like trying to um I guess give like a good plot twist and then just having like a plot twist sort of come out of nowhere, and that's kind of what it felt like to me. Like the plot twist for me about like who the actual like perpetrator was, to me kind of felt like it came out of nowhere. Like I didn't really feel like it made sense, sort of. Um, and so that kind of left me a little bit, you know, I don't really know how I felt. I just didn't. I was just kind of like, really, that's the person who did it, because it didn't really make sense to me. It didn't really feel like it was like justified. I didn't really feel like that should have been the person who did it. I'm usually pretty good at guessing plot twists, and I'm usually pretty good at guessing like who the murderer was. Even if I don't know why they did it, I'm usually pretty good at like guessing it. And that one, I was like, wow, that kind of came out of left field. So I just didn't really get that. But that's not even my biggest issue with the book. Um, my biggest issue with the book was so the characters are part of this like I said, they're part of like a GSA like queer club, but they don't call it a GSA. They call it the LGBTQ club, um, which I guess is okay. But I'll kind of explain why I didn't really love that. But because they call it the LGBTQ club, the like principal, who's homophobic, um, keeps referring to it as the BLT club. And because he keeps calling it the BLT club, um, then the other students are like, well, where's the sandwiches? Like, this is called the BLT club. Like, I thought we were gonna have sandwiches. Like when there's the club sign up day. And like that was like a huge like part of like the story sort of that like um they were the BLT club, like the principal literally keeps calling it that. And like one of the other characters keeps calling like the main character Sandwich Girl, which is like supposed to be like sort of cute almost, and becomes like a thing between them. But um that just really bothered me. And the reason why they call them gay straight alliances, and I didn't even know this for the longest time, but they call them gay straight alliances because kids who are closeted can join without having to out themselves. And even in the book, there was a character who ended up not joining the club because once like everything kind of got messed up with the calling it the BLT club and then them getting like accused of murder, like one of the characters just like refused to like even associate with them. Um, but even before like they got accused of murder, like she didn't want to join because now there was this whole thing about like the like popular kids kind of um you know thinking it was a BLT club and like making fun of them and stuff. But like if it's called a gay straight alliance, then like someone who joins as like a so-called ally can be part of it without having to out themselves. So that just really bothered me. Obviously, that your results may vary. Like someone else could have read this and felt totally different. That could not have bothered them, but that just really bothered me. I just it was like such a big part of the book, calling it the LGBTQ club and then the BLT whole thing, that I just kept thinking, well, if they were called the Gay Straight Alliance or even just something more neutral, then that would not have been a thing. And I know that that's like the author's choice. It was part of the story, but it just irked me because obviously, like, you're just leaving it open to making it so that like people who are closeted and even like allies don't necessarily feel like they can join. And I just feel like that's not really the point of an LGBTQ club or a queer club or a gay straight alliance. Like you want allies to join, you want closeted kids to join. So naming it something like that just makes it so that um, those kids won't be there. And you need those kids there, not just the closeted kids. You need allies to join. And um, yeah, I guess I just really didn't like that. So that was just something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way the entire book. But yeah, the whole book just kind of felt like to me. I gave it 3 stars, I believe. Um, and yeah, I mean 3 stars for me is not like a bad rating. To me that just means it's okay. Like it wasn't anything like terrible. It just means that for me it didn't like wow me, but it wasn't like awful. 2 stars for me is like really bad. 1 stars for me means like I would never recommend this to anyone. Um, 2 stars is like, no, this was like really, really bad. Um, so 3 stars for me is just like, it's just like, you know, um, yeah. So it was just there. That's about all I can say. Yeah, like 1 star would be like a rant review where I'm like literally talking about like how much I hated the book. 2 stars is like it's just it's almost a rant review, but like there's just something that's like a little bit redeeming about it that like doesn't make it terrible. 2 stars is sometimes like it's just like the writing is really bad, something like that. So 3 stars is like not the worst rating in the world. But yeah. um, so yeah, thank you, NetGalley, for the review copy. I really appreciate it.